Hello there. What is going on, everybody? We have a new Star Wars game to talk about that just came out yesterday, and I'm also going to talk about why you might not even be able to get this game. Also, do want to remind everybody there are a few days left to enter to win the giveaway for the Star Wars Black Series Celebration exclusive Darth Maul and Obi-Wan Kenobi. If you aren't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, leave a comment on this or one of my videos. You can enter to win those. We'll ship those anywhere worldwide. So yeah, there's still a couple more days. I'm going to be announcing those right around the end of May, and good luck to you. You can win both of them. So with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about Darkside Rising. So Darkside Rising is a tabletop game, going to be kind of light. It's going to be very, very similar to a game called Thanos Rising. You may have heard of this one. It's been pretty darn popular, and it's using all the characters from Marvel's Avengers. Obviously, there's a relationship between Disney licensing VOP, or otherwise known as USAopoly, or the folks who are putting this out, to use Disney licenses, and that sounds pretty good. But the interesting thing is that Star Wars licenses have always been a problem. So you haven't always been able to get, it's not always been really easy to do Star Wars licensed board games. As a matter of fact, it's very, a very interesting, kind of pool of waters to navigate. So we'll talk about that a little bit. But this game itself actually looks pretty cool. You've got this bust of Darth Vader. You're gonna have this Death Star board. You're gonna have all these different characters that are gonna be set up around it, and it looks like it's using ships and heroes and droids. And we've got R2D2, Cassian Andor, Hera, Stormtroopers. We've got characters from Rebels. We've got characters from Rogue One. We've got characters from Episode 4. We've got all kinds of characters. There's dice. Now, I'm going to admit I have not played Thanos Rising yet, but from what I understand, it's pretty much just a dice builder, and you're kind of building up, your dice, and you're trying to roll better dice and try to win the game that way. Be interesting to find out some more details. Be interesting to find out if they're changing this game a little bit, or if it's pretty much going to play identical to Thanos Rising. Because a lot of times, what I found is when a new game comes out, they will kind of add a new mechanic while it's like got a new theme. Like if they do like Cthulhu Rising, it might play exactly the same, but also have a madness mechanic that you can use as an optional rule. And you might find something like this. Like every version of a board game that they've made a Star Wars version of always has a little something to change it up. Have you ever heard of the game Trouble, with a little pop-up thing and with the dice in the dome in the middle, and you get your dice to roll? Like, they have one of those, and it has an R2D2 in there for the Star Wars version of it. And in addition to the dice, and if you pop the thing up and R2D2 stands up, then you get like a free turn or something like that. It's like just there's little optional rules that you can either ignore or include in your game. And that's usually the when they just reskin another game. That's kind of how it works. Now this one, it does look pretty cool. I will say I kind of think like that the Thanos Rising has the better looking miniature or the better looking model in the middle, because it's like a full body of Thanos, and then this one just has like a bust of Vader on, what is that, like an Imperial speeder? Like I don't even know what that, it looks like almost like an Charles Xavier wheelchair kind of thing. If Vader had one, did Vader like lose his legs and he's got to ride around in his hover cart? I don't know what that is in the middle. So I would think it would look cooler if they actually had a whole statue of Darth Vader. However, why might you not be able to get this game? So it's a licensing thing from what I'm able to gather. As soon as this was kind of teased, I sent a request into USAopoly, and basically, I'm asking basically for a review copy, and they replied, but they didn't really address my request. It's like a copy pasted thing. Like, hey, we love that you like Star Wars, and so do we. And this is still in production, and it's planned for release in Europe, the Middle East, and in Africa later this year. We'll be updating our pages with more information. Make sure you check back. And I'm like, okay, I didn't ask where it was being released, because I already saw in the press releases that it was not going to be released in the United States. It's only going to be released in Europe, the Middle East, which is kind of, and Africa. So I imagine Australia's kind of hosed, as well as North and South America, and perhaps Russia and China. I'm not, I don't, So I guess everywhere from England to maybe Iran can get this, and then all as far down as South Africa. So like just the middle section of the globe. If you look at the map, I don't know. So yeah, so why is that, right? Well, it probably boils down to rights. This would not be the first time I've seen a Star Wars game that comes out in a different part of the globe. A good friend of mine has Star Wars Love Letter, and it's all in Russian. And apparently, Russia's the only place you can get it. And he actually had somebody that go to Russia to pick one up for him. So like I imagine with something as big as this, probably, especially since it appears to be printed in English, especially for the copies that are going to be coming out in England, it probably won't be that hard for you to be able to get one. Now, this is going to sell for $49.95. Although that's the funny thing is they have the price listed on their website in just numbers. There's no symbol. So I don't know what $49.95 MSRP is. It doesn't say $ symbol. I'm assuming it's a $ symbol because this company is based in California. So it should be a $50 game, and it's not going to be sold in dollars anywhere. So why do they say 49? If it's going to be sold in pounds or francs or euro. I guess they don't do francs anymore. Gosh, I'm baiting myself here. They've been on euro and in Europe for a long time. Anyway, well, a lot of Europe. I don't think they have francs and rubles. Well, maybe they have rubles. That's Russia. That's not Europe. Now I'm getting my geography all kinds of messed up. Anyway, see, this is what this has done to me with all this licensing stuff. Can't we just let people make stuff instead of giving somebody a monopoly and saying like you're the only one who can make stuff? I just, I feel like there's pros and cons to this system, but we're the one who suffers for it, especially in a case like this. You know what? Let it go through a vetting process. If it looks like it's good and I want it, let me get it, all right? Can I get it? So basically my question was to them is, can I get a review copy? And it doesn't look like they're going to send a review copy to the United States, but maybe I'll be incorrect. Maybe I'll have to try and see if I can get one from a viewer who happens to be in England, and then like that would be pretty cool. So if any of you guys are in Europe or England or think you might eventually have access to an English printed version of this, send me a message. And again, not now, not today, because we'll wait until it comes out, because they may turn around and just say, hey, we can, turns out we can give you a review copy, we just can't sell you one, because I would imagine if there's some kind of rights against, hey, you can't sell this in the United States. Well, if you're giving me a review copy, you're technically not selling me anything, right? I mean, that's the way it looks like to me. But we'll see. It would be pretty cool to take a look at this and to find out if it's really going to be worth you trying to track down one from a different continent, if it comes down to that. But this is kind of cool. And like with Love Letter, it wasn't such a big deal. We played it, and it's pretty much, Love Letter is super simple. It has its own little mechanic in there, and that's cool. But the thing is, like, this is Thanos Rising was apparently a really good game, or a very popular game, and I would love to get a copy of any kind of Star Wars board game. And this plays 2 to 4 players. It doesn't even take that long. It's kind of a quicker game too. It looks like it can play in about an hour, which is really great. Because right now the only truly multiplayer game we've got is Outer Rim, and that one takes more than an hour if you got 4 people. It definitely does. It takes more than an hour with even 2 people. That's like a 2 to 3 hour game, generally, possibly longer than that if it's somebody's first time and they're going to be going a little bit slower. So this one, I was kind of hoping to be able to get a copy of this, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. So Dark Side Rising coming later in 2019, fourth quarter, it looks like. If you are in Europe or the Middle East, so parts of Asia, or in Africa, look for this from the OP. And I wonder if that's why they changed their name from USAopoly to the OP, because they're planning on getting licenses for games outside of the USA, and they didn't want their logo to scream, "Hey, we're Americans," if they're selling games exclusively outside of America. I wonder. Let me know what you guys think. Maybe you guys. I mean, I don't even think I have any games by these folks, but I might be incorrect. I don't know. They do a lot of like the more lighter household games, like your Scrabble and Clue and things like that, when they license them out for other other OPs. Like they have like Harry Potter versions of stuff. They have a Harry Potter Scrabble. Like, how do you license a Scrabble? Like, isn't Scrabble just the alphabet? Is the alphabet different in the wizarding world of Harry Potter? I don't know these things. Maybe they have magical tiles that has a wand on there, or maybe you're allowed to flip the table as long as you say Expelliarmus or Wingardium Leviosa. I don't know. My kids are still reading the books on Harry Potter right now, so I've got that on the brain as I'm doing this. Anyway, yeah, that's about it. New Star Wars game coming pretty soon, so check it out. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, have a great day.